Just let's go. So let's dance now. It is my turn. Just won't work you out. I am ready for your action. Just won't work you out.
Welcome back to this special youth debate edition of Ruby Minds. If you're just joining us, I'm sorry, but you have just missed what was a very interesting part of the show today. But we're going to move on now to our next set of panelists. And of course, during the break, we did have a coin toss, and Team GMB won that as well and decided to go first. And we'll have here with us from Team GMB, Ikem Isiekwena. Thanks for coming here today. And of course, Demola Rewaju, thanks for coming here today.
A pleasure.
We're going to start with you, Team GMB. We're going to be talking jobs. I think for every young Nigerian today, or every Nigerian actually, it's probably the most important thing after security, because we need to find out what we're going to be doing going forward. The economy seems to be in some bit of a problem right now, and we need to find out how we can put food on our table with jobs. What is the plan of General Buhari for this?
Okay, thank you. Maybe I would like to make a comment. The trend of us winning the toss on the coin, I think, indicates what's going to happen on March 28th. Okay, but with that said, I'd like to state categorically that the most dominant theme in our program, in the APC, is jobs, jobs, jobs. Now, what do I mean by that? To start from the current reality. And maybe the first thing is to look at the function of the brain. The brain has what? Memory and imagination. So we've got to look at the record of the current government, of the current administration regarding jobs, regarding the economy, and the sort of hope that young Nigerians have. The first statement that the CBN governor made was that 80% of our youth are unemployed. 80%. So you have a country running on an emergency. We have a country where young people are not engaged, young people have no sort of productivity, and this must stop. And that's why we preach change. And when we say change, I'm going to read a number of things that we're going to be doing differently that will change this misfortune that has befallen Nigeria. The first thing is, what do you do? Outsourcing parks. Outsourcing parks. We have a lot of young people in the creative industry. We have young people who are doing video editing, young people in the music industry, young people who are, lawyers, accountants, and all of that professional service sector. Now, what we've said we will do is that we'll build outsourcing and industrial parks all around the nation, and we'll provide electricity, we'll provide internet, and we'll also provide grants. Now, this is different from UWIN that is very selective. I've heard about the democratization of UWIN, and how many Nigerians? Not up to 6,000. You're barely scratching the surface. 6,000 of a 170 million strong nation. I mean, that's just like putting a drop of water in the mighty ocean. So we must face business squarely. Governance is about addressing the needs of majority of Nigerians, not doing some tokenist program that you spend the amount of money that is spent on publicity trumps the amount and the life and the change it brings to people's lives. So from outsourcing, we have Just Farm Government Buys, the program. My colleague has spoken about what we're doing in the agricultural sector. Now, what that is meant to do is to provide jobs to young, teeming Nigerians. So when you leave school, you have an opportunity to go farm because the pay that comes from selling produce is guaranteed. Now, this is not about using 60 billion to buy phones for farmers, and that is a policy thrust of the current administration. This is different. This is about ensuring that there's a market for products. This is about ensuring that our storage and haulage facilities are up to par and can export basic oranges.
Thank you very much, Ikem. Demola, I don't know if you agree with him. Yeah, that's possible.
Well, I think, first of all, I need to reiterate that President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who I support for another 4 years, is willing to do such a program, is willing to stand in front of Nigerians and have a debate. But unfortunately, the people they represent have accused everybody, every media house in Nigeria, every broadcasting station, of being biased, and so they have not been able to do what we are doing here, and that is why we have to come here, and have this debate. Now, you said 6,000 jobs, that it is too small. I would like Nigerians to remember that I will take 6,000 jobs under President Goodluck Jonathan than 0 jobs under President Buhari in the only period when he was able to rule. He did not provide. He did not create new jobs. And he retrenched people. He retrenched people. Over 200,000 civil servants were retrenched under the government of General Muhammadu Buhari. Now, he also mentioned that we have that UN is a tokenist, that it's a token. He described it as tokenism. Well, I would have to ask him that your plan to give 5,000 naira to Nigerian youths who are unemployed all over the nation, that is the perfect definition of tokenism. You are giving them handouts. What the president is doing is that we are creating jobs and making, they are creating entrepreneurs who can employ other people. Now, the fact is this. There is no state in Nigeria that we can use there is no APC state in Nigeria that we can use as a template to say that this is an example of what the APC will do. All we have are promises, promises, and promises. There is no state in Nigeria, for instance, that has the parks that he mentioned. They said they are going to build parks all over the nation. We are in Lagos State here. Have we seen any of those parks? They have their governor, Rotimi Amechi. Have we seen any of those parks? So all these things they are saying are mere imaginations. They are promises. Nigerians are not ready to go with their promises again.
Thank you very much. Ikem, you want to reply?
So, yeah, so I spoke about the memory, right? We've checked President Goodluck Jonathan's record. Now, as you say about imagination, you must be imaginative to lead a nation. You must be creative and think to rule a nation. And let me tell you why the APC is a thinking party. You mentioned states and a record. And I'll tell you that we have in the state of Osun a demonstrable record of job creation where we've put people, we've intervened directly. And let me just clarify the record so that you understand this for what it is. In Nigeria today, Nigerians, we have 112 million of you, 112 million of our brothers and sisters who are desperately poor, live below 200 naira per day. Is that transformational? That is why we say change. And change is to say when you are going to give 5,000 naira, it's social welfare, it's social security.
Your 1 minute is up. Thank you very much, Ikem. Going to you now, Demola. Mr. President has been in power for his tenure and plus a number of months, of course. And people are going to judge him by his track record. Should we do that, or he's going to be offering something different going forward with job creation and for young Nigerians?
I think, first of all, that it's better we clarify now publicly that the lie that APC has put out, or the opposition to the president has put out, that the president has spent 6 years in office, is false. He has spent 4 years and 9 months as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Going forward, I believe, excuse me, sir, I believe that Mr. President has shown commitment to the youths of Nigeria. One of it is the UN project, which everybody here has agreed. Everybody here, except my opponent, has agreed that it is a laudable project. Going forward, I think, Mr. President, we should understand that he said that he mentioned a number of people who live below the poverty line. And of course, one has to ask that did they go into poverty under the presidency of Goodluck Jonathan? No. These people were poor, and most of these people became poor during the period of General Muhammadu Buhari, because in 1984, this country witnessed a kind of inflation that had never been seen before. In this country, we have people living like beggars. In this country, we have people queuing on queues to buy a tin of milk at a supermarket that will open the next morning. That was the kind of hardship that he put us through. And why do I keep going back to this? Because the only record of General Buhari ever being in power, we must compare that against the 4 years and 9 months of President Goodluck Jonathan. We can't just keep on, he talks about imagination, we can't just keep on going on a fantasy with you. APC, I mean, the party, they like to engage in phantasmagoric experiences. They like to, oh, okay, let's talk about this, let's talk about that, and all these grandiose plans. But on ground, General Buhari ruled this country. At the period that he ruled this country, he put this country in a mess that people were jubilating when General Ibrahim Babangida took over. President Goodluck Jonathan has been trying to salvage that mess. It wouldn't take a day. Now, President Goodluck Jonathan has never said anywhere that he's a messiah, contrary to what they are saying, that, oh, once we come into power, everything. We are not offering Nigerians, our party is not offering Nigerians immediate change. This is what change is. Now, when you say someone changes, of course, you are talking about you can change in 5 minutes. You change, and that's change. But when you are talking about transformation, it takes time. It takes time. And the president is not saying that he will do it alone. He's not saying he has all the solutions. They are saying they have all the solutions. I do not believe that, because we have not seen the solutions in the states where they control. And that is important. Nigerians must ask them, what change have you offered in the states where you are in power? What is that change? Show us the example of the change. I mean, why are Nigerians not jumping on the bandwagon and following them? Because Nigerians have no demonstrable, there's no empiric evidence that suggests that these are the agents of change. When President Goodluck Jonathan has shown himself as a leader of transformation. He has put in place the foundations. I believe strongly that the next 4 years will be about building on that foundation, not allowing anybody using the slogan of change to trample that foundation, to destroy the foundation, which is what happened on December 31st, 1983, when the government of Alhaji Shehu Shagari was overthrown by General Muhammadu Buhari.
Thank you very much, Ikem. Anything
Let's
there for you
calm
to
down.
rebut?
Yes, okay. Well, a couple of things. Okay, first, I want to start by saying the APC has a record. And I'm very clear to state that what we have done over time is we have put Nigerians back to work. And I've given the state of Osun as an example. I've given, you need to see what is happening in the power sector in Lagos. What we've done is we've taken people off, we've taken clusters off the grid. Now, all public buildings in Lagos, on the Lagos Island, and all the street lights in Lagos and in Alausa are powered by IPPs that are completely run off grid. Now, this provides jobs for several Nigerians. And by the way, the lowest unemployment rate in Nigeria is in an APC state. Free housing in Kano State. Free housing in Kano State. And let me tell you, we've had a presidency of almost 6 years. 10.5 million children out of school. 10.5 million children out of school.
I think it is very unfortunate that once again we are engaging in what the APC likes to do most. APC likes to pluck statistics out of the air and throw them at people. He said the state of Osun as that they've been providing jobs. I'm from Ilesha in Osun State. I don't know the jobs you are talking about. He said an APC state has the lowest unemployment record. He hasn't mentioned the state here. You know, he said in Kano. He said in Kano has the lowest what? How many jobs have been provided? You see, what we have to focus on is this.
We've created 40,000.
That what the APC is doing.
Direct jobs.
Excuse me, sir. What the APC is doing, they are creating an imaginative future for Nigerians that they have no idea of how to take Nigerians there. We have someone in power today who is getting the job done, who is doing things and putting them in place. Now, I will continue to insist that transformation does not take a period. Transformation, if you want to become a muscular person all of a sudden, you have to hit the gym and you have to do all that. Now, there are other ways, there are other quick fix methods, which is what the APC is best at doing. He also mentioned that electricity in Lagos has improved due to the APC government in Lagos. Well, I do not know about that, but I'm sure that several excuse me, sir. Now that he said that now all these things that APC continues to do, they continue to attack and attack and attack, but they have no idea of how to get the job done. President Goodluck Jonathan has demonstrated his resolve to create jobs. He has demonstrated his resolve to youths. And the youths are continuing to back them. The PDP presently is fielding the youngest gubernatorial candidate in this election. Umar Nasco in Niger State is a 37-year-old man. That is commitment to the youth process.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ikem and Demola. Very new word I learned in that
phantasmagoric experience.
Thank you
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's not an English word.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to take a break now and come back with more
It's not an English
of the
word.
youth debate right here on Robin Minds. Please stay with us.